there was a glitch in the Matrix. When I first watched the fight, Teofimo Lopez versus high-tech Vasil Lomachenko, you know, I gave that fight on first view 8 rounds to 4. I gave Lomachenko rounds 8, 9, 10, and 11. And then we seen Teofimo Lopez dominate the 12th round. We seen Teofimo Lopez establish himself and dominate round 1 through round 6 and 7. That's when I first watched the fight. So, wake up first thing this morning, watch the replay. When you watch the replay, it's honestly hard to find a round, a solid round to give to Vasily Lomachenko. When I first watched the fight and I seen the 119, 109, I said, you know what, that is a little bit of a stretch. But when I rewatched the fight, and I rewatched it twice already, it don't matter, commentation on mute, commentation loud, turned up, you know what I'm saying? No two ways about it. Can't make no bones about it no matter how you watch that fight. It's hard to give Vasily Lomachenko more than 3 rounds. And that's a stretch, honestly. Now, I know you're going to have some people that's going to argue that, you know what I'm saying, tooth and nail. That's cool with me. I'm just telling you from my perspective, from how I see it, it's hard to find a solid round for Vasily Lomachenko. There was no round where he was ever able to completely take over and establish himself and dominate a round. From round 8, he started to have a flurry, or he had spots. He had spots in round 8. If any rounds I would give him would be 8 and 11. And even in 11, towards the end of the fight, we saw Lopez, basically swinging the tide back his way in the 8th, in the 11th. I'm sorry, in the 11th. In the 8th round is where we saw Vasily Lomachenko. I think it might have been the 8th round where we seen the headbutt come into play. A little bit of some brawling came into play, holding and punching came into play from Vasily Lomachenko. I put it like this: from rounds, the very first round, you could see that Lopez body shots earned all the respect he needed for the whole fight. You know what I'm saying? A few body shots to Lomachenko, and Lomachenko respected his power from that point on. And I don't know how much you have to give that to the fact that, Vasily Lomachenko had been on a long layoff. He'd been out since 14 months. So been out for a year and 2 months. But everybody's been on a layoff. So nobody's the Matrix. Everybody is human beings. And 14 months off is 14 months off. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to make any excuses for Lomachenko. He had a long layoff. He's getting a little older. You got the momentum of Lopez. I think his layoff was a little bit shorter, and he still had the momentum coming off the Richard Comey fight. He's younger and he's hungry. He's strapped up right now. Teofimo Lopez is strapped all the way up right now. In my opinion, what I saw was a glitch in the Matrix, some deja vu, a little bit of something more in the, reminded me of the Salido fight. You know what I'm saying? Where you seen Lomachenko was still a little wet behind the ears, and fighting a bigger guy, not a tall, lanky, big guy, but a short, compact guy, but still big, still fast twitch muscle. You know what I'm saying? Who's bigger than Lomachenko, who's got the same, who can match Lomachenko speed wise, and not to mention ring IQ, because so much was slept on Teofimo Lopez's ring IQ. We all thought he was gonna go in that fight like a bull going crazy in a glass shop. That's how they put it. We thought we was going to see a wild, reckless, swinging for the fences, going for the gusto, throwing the kitchen sink, and a premature. Now, I had Lopez winning by a knockout. And I seen some spots in there with some of those body shots I saw where he did that body shot and he lifted Lomachenko off the mat. I seen some body shots in there that almost let me see that after the 7th round, I thought he might have went for a knockout. But what we seen was Lomachenko was behind from round 1 through 7. Lomachenko was behind, and he started to implement professional strategy. He went into his bag, and he said, "I'm not a loser. I don't know how to lose." He started basically, go in for the kill, put him into the danger zone, and he was able to do that effectively in small spots. So what we saw was a calm, composed Teofimo Lopez from round 1 through round 7, shutting them out like a whitewash, shutting them out Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia style. And we've seen Teofimo Lopez come on strong. And, there was a headbutt, there was some holding and punching, and it broke Teofimo Lopez's concentration. And that enabled Lomachenko to start to, at least get in some shots. But at that point, that was round 8. We go into round 9. Teofimo Lopez came back out, recomposed, and when Lomachenko came in, he just started to push him off. You know what I'm saying? Instead of locking him up, trying to hold him, just push him off and then go back to his body. So what I saw happening almost looked like it was about to happen, because I thought that Teofimo Lopez was going to hurt Vasily Lomachenko, maybe drop him one time, then he was going to get completely reckless and start swinging wild, missing, exert a lot of energy for no reason, and then Lomachenko would take advantage of that and then break him down. I was worried about that kind of happening, and that didn't happen. Lomachenko had a good round 8, but never dominant. Round 9, same thing. He had spots where he would put on a offense, and then he would get neutralized. 1 or 2 body shots or 1 or 2 threats of a hook or uppercuts, and it would neutralize him. Round 11 was probably his best round, and that was at the beginning of the round. And he did, he came in there, still, he was a threat, and he made his presence be known. And you've seen Lopez have a little bit of a expression on his face where he might have been concerned and worried a little bit, but he would, find a way to reestablish his dominance. And even by the end of the 11th round, he had Lomachenko on his back foot. Keep Lomachenko on the back foot. And then, by round 12, you can follow the narrative if you want to, that it was 50-50. But that was just Andre Ward doing his job. You know what I'm saying? I'm not putting any weight behind that. At the end of the day, going into the 12th round, all Lopez really had to do was box. Senior was like, all you got to do is go in there and box and win. You know what I'm saying? He decided not to box, and I'm happy to see that. He decided to go in there and bang. And in the 12th round, you know what I'm saying, he banged out all the way to the 10-second mark where he got another, cut from a headbutt. So even with that, after the butt, he came in there and finished out the last 10 seconds in a victorious fashion. So it was an easy fight to see who was the clear winner, a definitive winner. And I think in a rematch, it would be something quite similar. You know, because people automatically say, let's get the rematch, let's get a rematch. When I watched the fight the second and the third time, I thought of a rematch, and to be honest, I don't see that fight going any other way, except for if you had the crowd and the pressure is different, and Vasily Lomachenko maybe takes a tune-up fight to knock off that rust, and then Lopez goes and fight his mandatory and knocks off some more rust, and they come and meet with the crowd and everything. I still would give Lopez the same, just a knockout.
Déjà vu.